Historic California rainstorm threatens Oscar's washout. Hundreds of homes evacuated after mudslides as LA gets its worst downpour in years. Around 1,200 homes that were recently under threat of being consumed by wildfires are now evacuated over fear of mudslides. More than 8 inches of rain accumulated in parts of California as rain continued to pour down Saturday. Oscar organizers frantically try to keep the red carpet clean for Sunday's big show. A storm that brought some of the highest rainfall totals to the Los Angeles area in years has continued to hammer much of California through Saturday afternoon. Up to 8 inches poured down in some mountain ranges, and the tumultuous pressure systems led to a tornado warning early Saturday morning. In Azusa and neighboring foothill communities about 25 miles east of Los Angeles that sit beneath nearly 2,000 acres of steep mountain slopes that just weeks ago were menaced by a wildfire, about 1,200 homes were under evacuation orders Friday over mudflow fears but were so far spared. In particular danger were about a dozen homes in Azusa that were backed up against a steep fire-denuded hillside several hundred feet high that authorities feared could collapse. Muddy water swept down the hillside earlier in the day, spreading about 2 feet of ooze above one backyard. Although fencing walls and an orchard of about 5,000 avocado trees behind the development stopped most serious debris. Despite the urging of police and fire officials who cleared reporters and others out of the neighborhood as the hill grew more saturated, at least a few residents decided to stay on. One such reporter was Miguel Almaguer of NBC Nightly News, who waded into the thigh-deep mud for a live shot. That aired Friday night and promptly had to be pulled out by emergency responders when he was unable to get out. Dennis Sanderson, 50, said his reaction to the evacuation order was "we'll ride it out." But by nightfall he was undecided and keeping an eye on the weather because of forecasts for more rainfall. About 13 homes were evacuated Friday night in Palmdale in northern Los Angeles County, where a mudslide closed a major road. Thunder echoed and hard rain fell late Friday night on Hollywood, which was abuzz with preparations for Sunday evening's Academy Awards, and hopes the rain will have moved on by then as expected. Rainfall totals in parts of California were impressive, especially in areas that typically don't receive much, but not nearly enough to offer long-term relief from a long-running drought. 3 inches fell on Bel Air and Pasadena, and an urban flash flood warning that was sent to cell phones was called late Friday night for central Los Angeles County. For the first time in nearly 3 years, downtown Los Angeles received more than 2 inches. Doubling its total for the rainy season that began in July, the National Weather Service said. Yet the city remained 7 inches below the normal 11 inches. Meanwhile, to the east in San Bernardino County, a levee failed and put 8 houses in danger of serious flooding, but county fire crews were working to protect them and no evacuations were ordered. Forecasters expected the storm to last through Saturday in California before trundling east into similarly rain-starved neighboring states. Phoenix was expecting its first noticeable precipitation in 2 months. The storm was projected to head east across the Rockies before petering out in the northeast in several days. Rain also fell along the Central Coast, the San Francisco Bay Area and Central Valley. Winter storm warnings were in effect in the Sierra Nevada. About 15 inches of new snow had fallen by midday. Friday at the University of California, Berkeley's Central Sierra Snow Lab located at 6,900 feet elevation. A tornado warning was issued for Sacramento, Yolo and Sutter counties Friday night but was cancelled soon after. Forecasters seemed somewhat happy at the beginning of the rainfall because it looked like it could be a way for the region to get out of an ongoing drought, but really said such systems would have to become common for the state to make serious inroads against the drought. Farmer Ray Jean Feldhuis, who grows almonds, walnuts and pistachios and runs a 2,300 cow dairy in the Central Valley's Merced County, welcomed the wet weather but knew it would not rescue California from drought. "Hopefully, they keep coming," Feltway said of the storms. "If not, we'll deal with the hand we're dealt." Numerous traffic accidents occurred on slick or flooded roads across California, including one about 60 miles east of Los Angeles involving a big rig whose driver died after falling from a freeway overpass. Power outages hit about 32,000 customers, the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power and Southern California Edison said. The storm was good news for other Californians who didn't have to worry about mudslides. Kite surfer Chris Strong braved pelting rain to take advantage of strong winds that gave him about an hour of fun over the pounding surf in Huntington Beach. "I don't get to kite here in these conditions very often, only a handful of times, but you put them in the memory bank," he said.